This is a Blitz review of Hollow Knight. Everything you need to know to decide if you want to play the game or skip it, without adding any unnecessary details. The review contains no spoilers and only footage from the first section of the game is shown on the screen. You can see the types of experience the game provides and potential sensitivities you might struggle with on the screen now. The scoring goes from 5, which is high, to 1, which is low. Check the description for more details and pause the video if needed. Hollow Knight is a 2D action-adventure game. You will venture into a ruined ancient insect kingdom and explore its past and discover its secrets. The environmental storytelling is very good, supported by excellent visuals and a fantastic sound design. The lore of the world is deep. The narrative is mainly told in pieces and in the background. It does require that you pay attention in order to understand it. Gameplay-wise, the game is centered around combat and platforming as you progress through the different zones in the game. You unlock new abilities that enable you to traverse previously locked areas. The combat uses a Souls-like combat system that is fluid and well implemented. You have a dodge, jump, and an attack where positioning, movement and timing are crucial elements. The combat is, mechanically speaking, relatively simple, but the game uses the simple mechanics very well. The combat is very well designed as a whole. The game is reasonably difficult, but if you want a very challenging game, this is not it. If you're good at these types of games, you will probably blitz through most of the main game until you reach some of the more difficult DLC content. On the flip side though, the game has a reasonably high skill floor. It places demands on the player and punishes the player quite harshly if they fail. If you're either bad or very good at these sort of games, you will likely not like the combat in Hollow Knight. But if you, like most people, fall somewhere in the middle, there is a lot to love about the combat. The biggest strength of Hollow Knight is the feeling of exploration and discovery that the game provides. There are a lot of things to find in an environment, from narrative pieces to upgrades to hidden areas. It can be extremely satisfying to explore the world of Hollow Knight, as you're given a large degree of freedom to do what you want and go where you please. However, this freedom and lack of guidance also comes at a potential cost. It means that it is very possible to get completely and utterly lost. You can get so lost that you have no idea at all where to go next. There are few games that have the same potential for the player to get lost as Hollow Knight. And on top of that, the map is probably the worst aspect of the game. It exists purely for backtracking and not to help in the exploration. And there is a fair bit of backtracking in the game if you want to engage fully with the discovery and exploration aspect. In summary, Hollow Knight feels like a game that assumes that the player is on the same wavelength as the developers. If you are, the game can probably become one of your favorite games of all time. But if you are not, the game can be frustrating and rage-inducing. You need to be on the same wavelength in terms of expected experience in Metroidvanias, for example, experience with 2D platformers, experience with Souls-like combat in 2D games. If you have too much or too little experience, knowledge or skill, the game can feel pretty bad to play at times. But if you are in that sweet spot, this can easily become your favorite game. And to be very clear, I do think that most people exist in this sweet spot, but it is something to be aware of. Hollow Knight holds an exceptionally high quality and is a highly polished game. It is undoubtedly a good game, but I do not recommend this as your first 2D Metroidvania. The game has a lot of content to enjoy if you mesh with the game. I hope that you found these ramblings useful. Thank you for watching.